Good afternoon and welcome to TOBES, specifically sport. My name is Liam Hare and I'll be your course leader for your 2 years whilst you're at college. Now, when you join us in TOBES, we have a really high reputation of keeping and setting high standards for the rest of the college. Now, what this includes is making sure that you attend your lessons, so 95% will be expected of you throughout your time with us, as well as 95% punctuality. Two really important things to us, and it only benefits your learning through being there and getting all the content that you need to know for your exams and your assignments, and obviously being on time to make sure you get as much content and knowledge as you can throughout the lessons. Now, obviously, you are joining a course, you're joining a sport course, but as we say at college, it is careers, not courses. Now, what this might mean, well, what this means is we are preparing you to get onto your next steps. This is not the end of your journey. This is only at the start of it. So throughout your time with us, we'll help you get employment skills, we'll help you get experience, because this should provide the platform for your next job or your next step. Now, when you're with us, we provide a range of units that we cover, hopefully to appease everyone, and obviously develop a wide range of sport skills that can go into many different sectors within sport, such as sport coaching, sport development, sports therapy, etc. So when you're with us, you'll find that the units are quite varied and different. So units that include, for example, anatomy and physiology, sports psychology, sports coaching, sports development, sports as a business, technical and tactical sides of sport. So as you can see from those, you'll develop a wide range of knowledges and understanding across many different areas of the sporting industry. Now, when you're with us in each year, in the first year and in the second year, you will have 2 exams. So in year 1, the 2 exams are anatomy and physiology and fitness training and programming for health, fitness and lifestyle. In the second year, you'll study exams on sport development and sports as a business. And this is really important in the sense that you have to pass both exams in order to pass the overall course. Now, I know that might sound quite daunting, but you can have resits in May. Now, we take the exams in January and focus our teaching from September to January purely on the exam units, give you the best possible opportunity. Now, if you fail or don't quite get the mark that you want in the January series, we will put you in for a resit free of charge in May, and you have a chance to have a go at it again. And even better, when you get to take the resit, if you do worse on that one, you'll still take the highest grade that you've got, i.e. in January, forward into the next part of the course. Now, when we get to September, it's looking like we're going to do a combination of different teaching. There'll be some lessons that will be in the classroom, as in a traditional way. However, there might be also days whereby we deliver online lessons in order to try to keep the contamination low within college and making sure that everyone stays safe. Now, we've been quite good in terms of delivering online lessons. In the last year, since COVID and lockdown, we've not missed a single lesson for our students, and we have learned to adapt and deliver online sessions. And we've had very good feedback in terms of students still feel that they've learned very much from us, and they feel that they are prepared for their next steps, even through online teaching and virtual lessons. So whilst it's not what we want, it's better than what we've got at the moment. But obviously the most important thing is keep you guys safe. But rest assured, we have got things in place to make sure you are still learning on the course. In terms of the highlights of the course, there are a couple. The major one being the Ardèche unit, and the Ardèche trip to the south of France, where you do outdoor adventure activities such as kayaking, canoeing, mountain biking, Jacob's ladder, archery, and all those things is a particular highlight. And if you would ask any student that's been on the course, including myself, I've been on that trip as a student across the 2 years. That is the one that always comes up in terms of end of year feedback, end of course feedback. The Ardèche was amazing. It's the constant response that we get. The other highlight is the other residential trip that we do, or a couple actually, in terms of boot camp. So we normally go there at the start of the year, but the other big one is Barcelona, which we go into typically in the second year for 4 days and 3 nights. So they're the 2 highlights, and say if you were to ask any student that's been with us for the last 3 years, that's probably what they would say. And on that note of trips, we do go on quite a few. So in the first year, we go to Millennium Stadium. Now, typically, this is normally in January, just after the exams. So it'll be a nice break from when you finish your exam series. We'll go to the Millennium Stadium. We'll have a bit of a relaxed day out sort of thing. And then we'll get into the assignment-based units afterwards. Now, we would normally do a trip called boot camp at the start of September. However, it's currently looking like that won't be going ahead due to the COVID situation. So we are closely monitoring it, but we are still wanting to go on it. So we might use that trip and that facility later on in the year for something different. But we are very much looking at our options. The other trips in the first year will include a trip to University of Chichester at the end of the year. So this will get you starting to think about your next steps. So it'll get you started thinking if you want to go to university or not. Now, there's lots of misconceptions about this trip sometimes. It's in the fact that you might feel pressured, but it's more about getting you to think about, do I want to go or do I not want to go? Because that will inform you for your second year. Because obviously in the second year, if you do want to go, you're going to have to start applying quite early, putting a personal statement together. But if you decide you don't want to go, obviously you're going to spend the second year trying to think about those employment opportunities at the end of the course. Now, in terms of your time with us, you obviously will be studying sport, but you will be enrolled onto what is called a study program. So a study program is all the lessons that make up your week. So obviously the crux of it will be sport most of the time, which is a mixture of theory and practical. But there'll be other lessons throughout the week, such as assignment workshop. So this is 2 lessons a week with our student performance manager, where it is time that you can spend behind computers to get on with your assignments that have been set with you or revision for exams. And also the performance manager will have one-to-ones with you in those lessons to make sure you're okay with everything and managing your workload. Another lesson that you'll have with the performance manager is what is known as core. So this is like PSHE at school, but it's designed for a more mature audience such as yourselves. So it will tackle different life skills such as managing money, getting your first job, buying, renting on the housing market, etc. So all the things that you might have to come across when you leave us in college or the next few years afterwards. And it's something I didn't have when I was at college, and I would very much appreciated it if I did, because it would have helped me tackle some things that I've had to come across in the recent years of my life that I had no idea about, at least initially. So that's also a really important lesson. Another important one is tutorial with myself. So it's not a taught lesson in terms of sport, but tutorial is more, we get together as a group, make sure again everyone's managing the workload, and remind us about assignments, trips, payments coming up. And it's a way to just keep everything in control and make sure you guys are on the right track. Lastly, we've got a social action project. So this is once a term. So once a term, the timetable will get collapsed and everyone within the faculty of TOBES will come together and we will deliver some sort of social action project in the local community. So I'll give you an example. Last year, what we'd done was a 100 care packages campaign where we made 100 like shoe boxes wrapped up, filled with essential items for homeless people in and around Oxfordshire. And it took students going out into the community of Witney and Abingdon and getting donations, either from money or products from shops within the local area, so we can put it into our care packages. So that's what social action includes. Now, obviously, you're going to be doing a different lessons in terms of theory and practical. The majority of lessons will be theory based, but there will also be a practical element of the course, and you will need practical kit for those practical lessons. And if we ever run any events or guest speakers in, you may be asked to wear that kit as well, which is similar to what I am wearing. So practical kit is compulsory. Okay, it's to ensure that we look smart in terms of whatever we do. So you will have to buy practical kit. Bringing your own kit is not what we want. We want everyone to look smart and coordinated in terms of what we do. And it's only not smart, but it's also professional in terms of how we deliver things. So the next steps for you guys is obviously you need to wait for your GCSE results, which is I think the 20th and 21st of August. So wait for those results. Obviously, once you get those, we'll come to enrolment. We'll get you guys enrolled onto the course officially, and you'll be a student of the college. And then we can get into the induction stage and obviously get on with the course. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you, hopefully under slightly better conditions what we are now. And I'm sure we're going to have a great couple of years together, and I can't wait for it. Cheers.